Hey lab, do you wonder why a mixture of different paints produce black, when we all learned that the color wheel when turned becomes white? So, without further ado, let's get started. But wait, what is color exactly? Objects, such as this box, are really colorless, and color is just a function of our visual system and only exists in our mind. Interesting, huh? So, how come we see the world in colors? Good question. Color derives from the spectrum of light interacting in the eye with our sensitive tiny light receptors. The spectrum of light itself consists of different parts of radiation. Some we can't see, such as ultraviolet and infrared, and others we can, which is the visible light spectrum. The visible spectrum is the only part that our eyes can detect. What colors we see depends on which wavelengths or frequency actually interact with the receptors. The retina at the back of the eye has two types of receptors: rods, which provide us with black and white vision, and cones that are responsible for colored vision. A single cone can be one of three different types, each sensitive to a different band of wavelengths. Long wavelength cones are more stimulated by light that appears to be red, while medium wavelength cones by light that appears to be green, and finally short wavelength cones by light that appears to be blue. These later became the primary colors of what is now known as the additive color system. In this system, when no light falls on the retina, the brain perceives this nothing as black, but when all receptors are stimulated, we perceive white. And when only one receptor is stimulated and the others are not, we perceive the color that is associated with that receptor. When light from two or more sources falls on adjacent rods in the retina, the brain perceives the combination as a different color. This is why, on a color wheel, when all colors are mixed together, we see white. On the other hand, dyes don't emit light by themselves, but rather are substances that filter light by absorbing certain wavelengths and reflecting the rest of the light spectrum that falls on them. Therefore, a red dye, for instance, is the substance that when sunlight falls on, it will only reflect wavelengths that appear to be red and absorbs everything else. And hey, we see red. The primary colors of the subtractive system, cyan, yellow, and magenta, otherwise stereotypically known as red, yellow, and blue, are a result of the subtraction of the primary colors of the additive system from white, as we can see in this table. When we mix two colors of paint together, like magenta and yellow, this will give us red, as magenta absorbs all colors of the spectrum except red and blue, whereas yellow reflects green and red. Here, green wavelengths will be absorbed by the magenta and blue by the yellow, so only the red color wavelengths will be reflected from the mixture to our retina, and we see red. Therefore, if we mix cyan, yellow, and magenta together, they'll absorb all the light spectrum and we see black, while if they don't absorb anything, we see white. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and feel free to comment, as your opinion is always appreciated. The Knowledge Lab, the more you know.